All right, we're back. Mitch Evans, Bill Schindler with you. Talked about it before the women's game. Clayton State, Columbus State rivalry. The second longest running in Lakers history as we get ready for this 51st meeting between the two schools in this men's game. The Lakers, like the Laker ladies, went 1-1 on their two-game road trip. Jimmy Link's group got buried by UNC Pembroke 85-65 before they bounced back to beat Georgia Southwestern 75-69. Now, both of these games were tales of solid first halves followed by a little bit of lackluster final 20-minute showings, particularly at UNC Pembroke, where the Lakers led by 3 at the half. Bill, like we discussed with the women as well, we're at the halfway point of this BBC schedule, talking about a team for the Lakers right now, 8-3 in the conference, 10-5 overall. They sit in second place in the conference. As I look at Jimmy Link right now, how should Jimmy Link feel about the way things have gone?
Do you want to give the grades? Are we going to go grades again?
Well, whether you want to give a grade or not.
I'll give a grade. I'll give an A- so far.
Okay.
I think this is a team that is better than last year's team that was a very good squad, and they're still finding, I think, they've got the right direction, getting the edges maybe a little less rough, and we're seeing that they are finding ways now to win outside. And I think this is really, we talked about this before, an outside shooting team. We saw Aubrey McCrae with scoring that program, or tying that program record 5 for 5, perfect from beyond the arc in the last time out. So, how do they play inside? We're going to see how Jacarl Owens getting some more playing time, how he adjusts inside defensively. And the senior guards, I think, have really played well. When you look at Nate Powell and Dantes Beneman, Powell almost had a triple-double. I mean, he didn't get into double figures in any one particular category, but he was right on the precipice of all three for that triple-double. And so when we see Nate shoot it, he's been pretty effective. And even Dantes Beneman, we talked about going over 1,000 points a few games back here at home. He can step up and have it a big game, and even Justin Tuxson too. They have been the interchangeable pieces. Of course, Tuxson a junior, but they have been the interchangeable pieces in the backcourt. And this is a team, I think, that is right on the precipice of greatness.
Bill mentioned more playing time for Jacarl Owens. He'll get the start again in this one as Denzel Council has been suspended indefinitely by the university, and we won't go into further details on that. So the Lakers pick it, it's next man up, and that's the story. And for Jacarl Owens, that's going to be what we watch for in this one. Columbus State comes in today's get-together with a 6-9 record and 6-6 in Peach Belt Conference play. Won 2 straight over Georgia College and Flagler. They are paced as the women were for the Lady Cougars with a 1-2 punch. Well, the men have it as well. The diminutive Ja'Cory Payne and the bruising Marcus Dixon. Payne fourth in the conference in scoring at 18 points per contest. Dixon topping the Peach Belt in rebounding at 10 boards per outing. They are quite the dynamic duo.
They certainly are, and this is a team that their coach will tell you if they start playing defense, they're a tough squad. The problem is the defense has not been consistent. So, I mean, that's going to be something if you're going to look for Columbus State, how they win this against the Lakers on the road. They've got to play good defense, and that, again, has been the riddle to solve for them. And then how do they score? Do we see a Ja'Cory Payne go off a bit? He only had 9 points the last time out against Flagler. That was not a well-played game. And can they turn it up? Because, like I said, look, the loss we were talking about of Council is, I think, the coaching staff will say, hey, we'll be fine without him. I tend to agree, but you're taking away some points. You're taking away a good free throw shooter, too, and you're taking away a good rebounder. So how does Clayton State adjust with that, and how's the defense of the Cougars play here today?
The Lakers trail the all-time series 30-14. It dates back to the first meeting back in February of 1996. Last season, the Lakers did end a 7-game losing skid to the Cougars, and they swept them for the first time since 1999-2000 campaign. That included a whopping 100-70 victory in Columbus back on February 8th of last year. So there's a little bit of background for you. We'll bring you the live game action when we return.
The athletic center for today's NCAA Division II basketball matchup between the Cougars of Columbus State University and your Clayton State Lakers. And now for the starting lineups. First, for the Cougars of Columbus State University. Number 0, Marcus Dixon. Number 1, Ja'Cory Payne. Number 2, Rudy Winters. Number 3, Darius Joel. And number 25, Cam Paulding. Their head coach is Robert Moore, assisted by Chris Reed, Pershing Williams, and Jordan Griffin. And now, this starting lineup for your Clayton State Lakers. First, Eggert, a 6'1" senior from Orlando, Florida, number 1, Nate Powell. Eggert, a 6'1" junior from Stafford, Virginia, number 2, Justin Thompson. Eggert, a 6'3" junior from Augusta, Georgia, number 12, Aubrey McCray. At forward, a 6'6" junior from Pensacola, Georgia, number 14, Jalen Taylor. And at forward, a 6'7" junior from Orlando, Florida, number 22, Jamal Owens. Lakers are coached by Jim Clayton.
Well, there you go. The voice of Theo Celeste. Giving you the starting lineups. Clayton State will send out Nate Powell, Justin Tuckson, Aubrey McCray, Jalen Taylor, and Jacarl Owens. And for Columbus State, it'll be Marcus Dixon, number 0. Ja'Cory Payne is number 1. Rudy Winters is 2. Darius Joel is 3. And number 25 is Cam Paulding. Game officials for this second half of the doubleheader between Clayton State and Columbus State. We've got Chet Mirabel, Brad Eggert, and Joshua Nicely. And I actually told him I will say his name nicely.
I like that, Joshua Nicely.
We got Jalen Taylor and Cam Paulding to jump. And it is Chet Mirabel throws it up, and a control by the Lakers, and we are underway. Lakers in their home whites, and the Cougars in red with the blue trim. Jalen Taylor on the block, gets it back out now to Justin Tuckson. Oh, and he tried to get it down low to Jacarl Owens, but just a touch too strong.
Yeah, trying to get to kind of the open window that was unguarded. It was unguarded for a reason. It's just a little bit too wide, out of his reach.
So here's Ja'Cory Payne, 4th in the Peach Belt in scoring, 18.1 points per game. Here, Darius Joel. That's Rudy Winters. Gets it back to Marcus Dixon. Floating into the paint, missing was Joel. The rebound to Taylor for the Lakers. Tucks it along the right wing. McCray for three. And he's off the mark, which is unusual because he's hit 9 of his last 10 from downtown.
Yeah, he was 5 for 5 the last time out, so we know he's not going to be perfect this afternoon, but might as well try it early, and I have a feeling a few of those are going to go.
So we're scoreless, opening minute at the lock. Mitch Evans, Bill Schindler. Three-pointer way off there by Rudy Winters. Nate Powell setting up Jalen Taylor, head of steam to the hoop, and banks it home with the left hand. Jalen Taylor with the bucket. I was just speaking with Jalen Taylor's parents, his mom and dad, in between games. And they should have a lot to be proud of when it comes to their son, computer science major, junior forward, and playing well this season for the Lakers and averaging 12 points per game and leading the team in rebounds at 8 an outing. Going to the basket, Dixon won't go. Taylor another board. Nate Powell pushing it up along the left wing. And they'll slow it down now. Powell up top, directing traffic. Finds McCray for a turnaround J. That was off the mark there. And then a foul on Jalen Taylor as he got tied up with Rudy Winters.
And Taylor's going to see, I mean, he's seen a lot of playing time. He's done very well. He's going to see even more, though, now. And, you know, he's been one of those guys that really has emerged down low as a very good presence, also can shoot.
Mainstay for this team.
He is. And, I mean, he can shoot well, too.
Here's Payne. Working on McCray. Stops and pops. Air ball there. So we saw, obviously, in that first game, in the women's game, talked about Tatiana Wayne, only 10 points. We'll see if the story is the same for Ja'Cory Payne on the men's side of things. The two big scorers for Columbus State on the men's and women's teams. Tuxton thought about a three but held off. Powell to the basket. Back outside. Tuxton from downtown. Rimmed it. Dixon the board. He'll bring it up. The senior forward from Columbus. Gets it off to his cohort, Payne, who missed on the left-handed layup underneath. Nate Powell looking. Back to Nate from McCray. Set up Owens down low, and he got blocked, but a foul on Cam Paulding. That looked clean.
Now, he'll certainly take it. And Jacarl, big guy, 6'7", 215.
Well, Jacarl in the win over Georgia Southwestern only scored 4 points, had 9 rebounds. He was 1 of 6. But then in the game against UNC Pembroke, the loss, Jacarl started in that one, was 6 of 8 from the floor for 13 points. And at the line on the season, 59%, and he sinks the first.
He also mentioned that game that he, didn't play, quote unquote, well, had 9 rebounds.
So Jacarl goes 2 for 2. Lakers up 4-0 on Columbus State early in this first half at the lock. Joel for 3, and he hits. Darius Joel, senior guard from Lawrenceville, out of Collins Hill High School in Sewanee. And it's 4-3. Tuxton. Nope. Rebound of Winters. Winters going to go coast to coast. Floats it up. Don't get the roll. Powell gets the rebound. Doesn't have numbers, but he's still going to go to the basket and got partially deflected on the attempt as Winters got the block. And the ball goes out of bounds off of Clayton State. So Darius Joel with his 15th three-pointer of the season, pulling Columbus State within one. 4-3 Lakers with the lead. Whistle, call a travel on Darius Joel. And a timeout on the floor, just a little bit more than 4 minutes into this first half. Clayton State on top of Columbus State, 4-3. Clayton State Athletics on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Stay connected to all your favorite Lakers sports teams on social media, and also you can get up-to-date scores and stats by simply visiting ClaytonStateSports.com. Bill Schindler, what say you?
Good start so far. They've gotten to the line as well, hit some of those shots. It's still very, very early, but it's the way the Lakers want to start things off. And the lineup seems to work. They seem, like I said, the grade, I think, the A- is you probably get an A or an A+ if you're in first place. And they were for a margin of the season early on, and they're still within very close to striking distance. But, it's this, like I said, it's the rough edges. It's getting a team to gel, and as we get to this point in the season, this is where the teams really start to come together. Guys start to know one another, know how they want to play, know where the passes are going to be open. And I think the Lakers they're growing into, this is a team with a lot of raw talent and a lot of refined talent, in fact, as well. But they're growing into what they're going to become toward the end of February. And I think, what we've seen has been very impressive so far this year.
Clayton State basketball up 4-3. Nate Powell on the dribble, spins and then was fouled by Darius Joel. So he's got one. Cougars have two.
Nate Powell with an expression of like, hey, just can't hang with me on that one. Too fast.
On the baseline, it's Jalen Taylor. Tough bucket. He's got four. Lakers up 6-3. I was talking to Jalen Taylor's folks in between the two games, and also Aubrey McCray's dad. Both players playing very well for this Lakers team. Nice crossover by McPayne. He got into the lane but missed. And the Lakers ahead of the field. They got a 3-on-2. Owens spins, and it goes. Jakarl Owens with four. Jalen Taylor with four. Lakers with an 8-3 lead on the Cougars.
And we're seeing actually the inside game being played well so far early on.
And we know Lakers can go inside, outside. Pump fake, drive by Joel, loses it, and deflected, and here comes Tuxton. Lakers have a 4-on-2 if they hurry. McCray pump fakes, passes it off, and the bucket is good by Nate Powell. So good teamwork there. Another timeout on the floor right now. This one called by Cougars head coach Robert Moore. 14:32 left in this first half. Lakers out in front of the Cougars 10-3.
Well, we talk about how, that Nate Powell plays above that 6'1". And what's funny is, and I don't mean this as a slight, it's just kind of a perception, is that, Jalen Taylor does not, and he does, he plays well. He plays like a big guy. He is a big guy. He just doesn't seem like a big guy. I don't know what it is. He's 6'6", 215. I mean, maybe it's just the outside shooting. Maybe it's his athleticism. He's just not a one-dimensional player. And you think maybe he's smaller than he really is, but he's not. I mean, like I said, 6'6", 215 is not a small guy in there. He does well for himself.
John Lambert, sophomore guard out of Atlanta, in for Columbus State. Working it is Winters, and they're going to call an offensive foul on him as he was out of control on the drive into the paint. So that's his first, 13th foul on Columbus State. Dantes Benjamin now checks in. And
go three guards.
Jakarl Owens goes to the bench, so the Lakers are going to go small with Powell, Benjamin, and McCray or Tuxton in the backcourt. And they also have McCray and Taylor in the front court.
And McRae really could be a guard with
Yes.
the way he shoots outside.
Absolutely. So the lone big man you got there is Taylor, and you were just talking about him not being a big man. So they got 5 guards out there. Powell, pump fake. And the floater won't go. Ball out of bounds, and it will go over to Columbus State. Had a wide open look and just couldn't finish.
Yeah, but this lineup illustrates how tough it is for teams to match up against Clayton State because, as you mentioned, I mean, this could be, you could say that this is almost like a 5-guard rotation. And that's just tough to match up against, especially when you have the size down low and the ability to shoot outside.
And coming up short there was Michael Graham, sophomore from Stone Mountain. And the ball over to the Lakers, who lead by 7. 6+ minutes into this one at the lock. The ladies are already lost of Clayton State, 70-59 to the Lady Cougars. And as has been going on, I actually told this to Jimmy, ladies have lost, the men have won. The men have lost, the ladies have won. So you would have to think with the ladies losing, the men win. Nate Powell, jumper good, and 1. Nate Powell at the foul line. And Nate off to a quick start here, Bill, with 4, looking for 5. But, you know, we've talked about Nate and pushing it on offense and not being so unselfish and, you know, being a little bit more about me, not too much, but a little bit more. We're seeing it.
Well, he seems to play better at home, too. Whatever it is, it's on the road. Sometimes he doesn't have – just at least to me, it seems like he has better games here at the lock. But – as we mentioned, he did have almost a triple-double. Nothing was in double figures, but he was close on all 3 categories. So he can certainly do many things.
Lambert 3, no good. McRae swipes the glass, and fast breaking are the Lakers. Tuxton, now to Benjamin. And, they call a travel. You could have easily called a foul on Payne, but they didn't. So back over to the Cougars. Lakers up 10, 13-3. Kyle Kinsey taking off his warm-up. Go to the scorer's table and get ready to report in the next stoppage and play. Jalen Thomas with it here. Now Lambert back to Dixon, and he laid it in. He could have snuffed that thing if he wanted to. Marcus Dixon, his first hoop. And it's 13-5 Clayton State on top of Columbus State. Lakers working it fast. McRae from downtown. It's good. Aubrey McRae doing what Aubrey McRae does. Hit threes. Aubrey McRae second in the Peach Belt in three-point percentage at 50%. And also second in made threes now with 41. And a whistle down low, it'll be on the Lakers.
If it's on Taylor, that's his second.
And it is, and he's shaking his head. And so with Denzel Council now suspended indefinitely, what that means is first big man off the bench for Clayton State now is freshman Moses Williams, 6'6", 180 from Augusta, Georgia. And he's in right now.
Yeah, Moses is going to grow up a bit here. I know it's good for him, though, as a freshman to get these minutes here at the end of the year, but he's going to have to play a consequential factor.
Work it down low, working on, and that's a travel right there. Or they're going to say no. I guess he had a piece of the ball. Now they're going to call a foul on Moses Williams.
I tend to disagree on that one. I thought he had all ball and looked like a pretty good defensive play, but
they call the foul. It's on Williams, his first, and it's the third team foul for the Lakers.
But Mitch, until that Jalen Taylor second foul that put him on the bench, we were seeing that pretty small lineup that they were going to, and it was working well. I mean, they really took off. We saw that 3 there hit by McRae, and it looked good. It's interesting in basketball. For years, it was sort of the big man dominated, the classic go to the low post, things along those lines. I mean, it still is to some degree, but I guess it trickles down a bit from the NBA. You talk about a team like Golden State that started to go small. I mean, that goes back to the Don Nelson days.
Kids watch the game. Coaches watch the game. They assimilate a lot of things, steal things, certainly. I mean, you watch some of the college game, and certainly a player like Trae Young from Oklahoma with the comparisons to Steph Curry, you know, slender, small, but great shooter, great handle, and hey, kids are watching it all over the place, and I want to be like that. It's certainly a fun style to watch and play.
You can't teach fast, and you can't teach good shooting. I mean, those are two things that you got both of those. Doesn't matter your size.
Lakers up 11 in the early goings here, almost halfway through this first half, actually. Some 8+ minutes in. Lakers up 16-5. They post up Michael Graham, who spins on Williams and misses as he came up short. Corner three, McCray. They got a piece, but they also fouled him. That's going to be on Ja'Cory Payne. So Payne with 2. As Bill mentioned, he's coming off a bad game against Flagler, just 9 points. The game before that, he had 24 against Georgia College. He had a season low against Young Harris 3 games ago. So he's been in a bit of a funk, and we'll see if we can keep him there. Meantime, McCray hits the first free throw.
Ironically, Young Harris kind of toward the bottom of the standings. We'll see the men back. Well, they'll be in action on the next road game. Will actually be at Young Harris.
Right. And Aubrey McCray goes 3 for 3 from the line. He's got 6. Lakers up 14, 19-5. With 11.5 left in this first half. Payne from downtown. And the rebound down low by Winters, and he got hacked.
I want to mention here while we got this little break for the moment was they will go to the line. Nice crowd today.
Yeah, we had a good crowd.
I know this is
absolutely
well attended.
It's almost a full house here.
So kudos to the fans.
You have the one area that's open where some of the cheerleaders do their thing. But pretty much everywhere you look, this place, there's not many seats to be had. That's good to see. And look, they're out here to see this men's team that is playing really good basketball for Jimmy Link. Meantime, at the line, Rudy Winters. And he makes both. Winters with his first 2 points of the game. And the Lakers on top 19-7. Benjamin lets loose from downtown. It hits! Dantes Benjamin with his first bucket, and the Lakers up by 15, 22-7, their biggest lead. Going to the basket is Joel. Puts it in and 1. So nice drive, nice finish by the senior from Lawrenceville, Georgia. And the foul is on Tez Benjamin. That's his first.
Kind of counts as a home game then, right?
Yeah, kind of.
Closer than Columbus.
And Darius Joel finishes off the three-point play with the free throw. He's got 6. Lakers lead down to 12. Benjamin puts it on the floor, drives, floats, no. And the board, Graham. Here comes Joel, left wing, working, shoots. The rebound, Winter, the putback is good. Rudy Winters from Cartersville, Georgia, the senior. He only played in 5 games last year, then took a medical red shirt. But playing 13 of the 15 games, now 14 of 16. The bucket there by Moses Williams, his first.
They teed him up.
Who'd they tee up there? Moses Williams after the bucket?
I'm not exactly sure what he did. I think Moses is trying to figure that out.
And now we've got Chet Mirabel who's coming here in front of us to have a discussion with Jimmy Link. So he's explaining to Jimmy what happened. Meanwhile, missing the first free throw, Jalen Thomas, sophomore from Columbus, 6'3", 175. And he makes his second attempt.
I don't know if he said something. I couldn't hear exactly what the explanation was. Tried to, but I don't know if Moses said something or maybe a look or push. I don't know. And Moses is kind of shaking his head too. I mean, he knows it was not a vociferous argument from Jimmy Link. Whatever it was called, and that's sort of, when you're a freshman, you got to learn from those.
And floating and missing there on the foray to the hoop was Darius Joel. Lakers throw it away. Joel hanging, but they don't get it to him. Winters now does in the corner. Back to Winters. Pump fake, drives. Oh, and almost taken away by Kinsey, and then the Lakers fight for it and grab the rebound. Tucson on the run. 4-on-3. And it's McCray who floats it in. Not your usual type of Aubrey McCray basket from about 2 feet away.
But he's one of the big men now. I mean, he's really one of your big guys inside.
And the drive to the basket by John Lambert. He was fouled.
And I think this lineup, I mean, this is showing it's good. We talked about the athleticism, but it's starting to show a little bit of seams, though, because the rebounding has just not been there with this lineup. They haven't gotten the position inside, a few turnovers. When they've missed those shots, they haven't been in the correct places. And like I said, we expect to see probably some guys, bigger guys, coming back in the next maybe 2-3 minutes.
Lambert misses his first attempt. The foul was on Kyle Kinsey, his first. And the second gets the charitable bounce. So Lambert in the score sheet with his first point. Lakers lead is at 12, 26-14. They've led by as many as 15 in this first half. Kinsey, screen from Williams, and shoots and makes. So Kyle Kinsey on the board, his first hoop. Lakers back up by 14, 28-14. 3 ball, no good. Follow, tip, and rolls in. I don't know who you give it to. Either Winters or Graham. And then Kinsey dribbled it off his foot, taken away by the Cougars. They're on the run as Winters has it on the wing and now gets it back to Lambert, who will set it up.
I think if they make this bucket, there's a timeout for Clayton State.
And they're trying to set up Graham, and they throw it away. And now coming in for the Lakers, JaCarl Owens. And Williams out. Also in for the Lakers, by the way, for the first time in a while, Christoph Nairn, of course, who has that bum shoulder of his. But it's good to see number 21 back on the floor for Clayton State.
And he's had a year of trying to get things going, and the shoulder injury doesn't help. But you'd like to see some production coming out of him.
Benjamin gets the screen from Nairn. Kinsey pumping on the long three, but going to drive and get the ball taken away from him, but not before he was fouled. And they're still checking in here, by the way, to the lock. Some people still trying to find seats. And Jalen Thomas whistled for that foul, his second. I've got them with 7 fouls, but I guess I must be mistaken because they've got them with 6. There's Kinsey. Gets the screen from Owen, stops. Now up top to Tez, swing it to Tucson. Corner, Nairn, 6 to shoot. Tucson lets go and hits. So Justin Tucson, 11th in three-point percentage at 43%, also 11th in made threes now with 32, and the Lakers ahead 31-16 again. 15-point cushion. Driving to the basket, stopping, shooting, missing was Darius Joel. Tuxton comes away with it. Kinsey, wide open three. Nope. Oh, and Tez Benjamin with the follow, but it won't go. And long pass for Joel, and then picked off by Nairn as they try to get it down low, and then the foul is on Joel. So the Lakers with a really good pace, Bill. I mean, they seem to be in a really nice place right now with how they're playing and the way they feel.
Yeah, I think, the rebounds here, that little dip and kind of opened a little crack in the window for Columbus State, but then the three came back. You saw that with Tuxson stepping out there. I mean, that really is that. I think this is the thing that sets them apart from any other team in this conference is the ability to just step out all of a sudden and you hit that three and, hey, the momentum shifts back.
And it's a slew of guys. I mean, it's not just McCray and Tuxson. Owens can step back and shoot a three. I mean, look, Council now just suspended, but Council was able to shoot the three. Benjamin can shoot threes.
Jalen Taylor can shoot a three.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, really,
which lends into your guard argument for him.
There's basically nobody on the court that you say, well, I feel uncomfortable that they're taking a three-point shot. And that there's not many teams that you can say that about.
Yeah, really. I mean, the one guy, look, Nate Powell has taken 7 threes. Kyle Kinsey has taken 7. Jalen Taylor has taken none, by the way. He has taken none and hit none. Well, he couldn't have hit any if he hasn't taken any.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I stand corrected. My perception was
I take that back.
Okay.
Take that back. Hold on. Let me double check. No, he has not. He has not taken any threes. 0 for 0. He and Moses Williams, the lone Lakers, to not attempt a three.
Jalen's hit some outside shots, hasn't he?
But we will be sure to tell Jalen Taylor your confidence in him from downtown.
Well, it's apparently it's imagined, but still, he can shoot outside though. We've seen that. Not from distance, I guess. Not from outside the arc.
Cougars with it, down by 15. Rudy Winters. Working on Nairn, spins in the lane, and he travels. Back to Clayton State. So you got Powell, Kinsey, Nairn, Owens, and Tuxson on the floor for Clayton State. So we go under 7 minutes left in this first half. 15-point advantage for the Lakers. Owens on the block. Going to turn and shoot and hit. Oh, there you go. Jacarl Owens with 6. The redshirt junior from Orlando, Florida. Off to a good start here. Nice setup, pump fake, and the layup, and good by Cam Paulding for his first bucket. 33-18 Clayton State. Nairn stops and pops from downtown, but he came up short, hit the front iron. Tuxson, 3, no. Rebound Owens.
But they're getting the rebounds.
Yes. Aubrey McCray sees the three parties going on. He goes, I want in on this. I'm the man. So he's at the scorer's table. Next stoppage, he'll come in.
And 2 misses in a row. He's saying, gentlemen, let me show you how to do this.
Owens spins, gets it out to Kinsey. 8 to shoot. Kyle got the roll. 4 for Kyle. 17-point Laker lead, 35-18, 5:45 left. Ja'Cory Payne drives and then gets it to Paulding, who dove for the ball and traveled. So Nairn comes out, and you've got Kinsey, Powell, Tuxton, McCray, and Owens on the floor for the Lakers.
I think with a McCray 3, the roof would come off this place.
Here's Kinsey. Oh, he sets it up down low with the nice lob for Owens, who laid it in. Nice first half for Jacarl Owens, leading the way with 8. Lakers up 19, 37-18.
Jacarl Owens, too, I know we talked about the Council suspension, but it seems like it is really freed up Owens. He seems to be playing with no pressure.
The floater was missed. The putback attempt by Marcus Dixon was no good, but the basketball still stays with Columbus State.
I mean, some guys do thrive on the pressure, you know, the competition. You have somebody else coming off the bench who's going to get the start. And it's almost like Jacarl now. I mean, you know he's the guy. And, I mean, it looks like he's just playing a lot easier, a lot more free.
Lambert cleared out, top of the three-point line. Get it down low to Jesse DeLoach, who throws it over to Theo Celeste at the scorer's table. We haven't had one of those come our way this year.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I wouldn't mind a ball coming this way. I just don't want anybody running at us, you know, jumping, running, flying over us.
I've had that happen a few times. not as fun as it seems.
McCray gets the screen from Owens, but they're going to call the offensive foul there or a moving screen. Nope, they're going to say foul on Jacarl. That'll be his first.
We set the bar low on these broadcasts, but you know the one thing that I
what do you mean by that?
No, I mean I just try to set off every broadcast with not taking a size 14 in the jaw is one of those. That's what I mean by setting the bar low. It's a goal.
Ja'Cory Payne working the high screen from DeLoach, drives, puts it up. The floater is off the glass and good. And Ja'Cory Payne off the schneid. 16 minutes into this first half, he's finally on the board. Owens lets loose from downtown, and the rebound at Dixon. 37-20, Lakers on top. They've led basically this whole first half. Payne works another screen from DeLoach, shoots, in and out. And another rebound for Owens, who got smacked in the face. And he's already got an issue with a cut jaw there. He's wearing the Band-Aid underneath his jaw.
So, you know, now it doesn't feel as bad. You get a little poke in the jaw and
you know
maybe
what?
the eye. And
that's what I always work with my wife. Is, you know, when she tells me something hurts, oh, my left leg hurts, and then I give her like a little mini dead arm in the right leg, and she forgets about the pain in the left leg.
that great marriage.
This is how you last.
Yeah,
this is how you last 31 years, sir.
Well, hey, it works. It works. 31 years. That's hey, yeah. You're doing something right with that,
right? You know, I'm just saying. You know, show me where it hurts, honey.
Oh man,
that's the way I roll. I'm not saying it's right, especially in this day and age.
I'm learning, though, now. I'm not going to complain if I've got any aches and pains before the broadcast. I'm going to say, nope, feeling good. Feeling good today, Mitch.
Looking for that elbow.
Yeah.
That elbow coming. We're in close proximity here, you and I, Bill. 3:52 left in the first half. Lakers, they have run away from Columbus State, led by as many as 19. Right now the lead for the Lakers is 17 at 37-20. And a lot of balance for Clayton State. Aubrey McCray with 8. Jacarl Owens has 8. Nate Powell with 5. Kyle Kinsey has 4. So does Jalen Taylor. Tuxson, Benjamin with 3 apiece. Moses Williams with a bucket. We got to get Christoph Nairn off the schneid. He's the only Laker right now who has played and has not scored.
14 points in the paint. In fact, I mean, for, you know, as much as you talked about how good they've been three-pointers and how this is a 17-point advantage at the moment, they've only hit 3 3-pointers. They're only 3 of 10.
And missing on the free throw attempt there for the Lakers, so goes back over to Columbus State. And that should be a offensive foul there, and it is on Marcus Dixon. So 1 on Dixon. And checking in for Columbus State, Jamal McKee, as he is now in for Jesse DeLoach. McKee, junior guard from Greenville, Georgia. And now a stoppage in play is wet floor. The referee's getting a little bit of help from some young basketball fans sitting there on the end of the Lakers bench. I think one of them was Jimmy Link's son. Pass all the way down to the other end of the court to McCray, but it won't get the roll, and it stays in bounds. Nice keeping it alive there for Columbus State, and then they throw it away. Wow. So I will say this, the Cougars are uncharacteristically disjointed in this one.
9th turnover.
They average 13.5 turnovers per game. Still plenty of time with 3+ minutes left for them to get there in this first half. Kyle Kinsey gets it to Tez, screen from Owens, gets it back to Jacarl. Oh, nice defense there by Dixon, but he was stepping out of bounds when he tried to save it. But he stripped Jacarl nicely on the attempt to shoot it.
They have a beautiful little pick and roll before. Nice way to set up your big man.
And they'll get it out to Benneman.
6 on the shot clock.
Powell with the screen. Kyle Kinsey with 3, and he hits it. And now they got a problem with the net, by the way. This is like schoolyard material, as part of the net came unhinged from the rim. So you give the 3. Was it Kinsey who hit that 3?
Yes.
I drew a blank there for a second. I was too worried about the net. Lakers with their biggest lead. It's 20 points. They've doubled up Columbus, 40-20. And there's Dixon, who can't finish, but he was fouled on the nice dump-off pass from John Lambert. Moses Williams will come back in now. His second personal is on Jacarl Owens. In and out on the first attempt by Dixon. Dixon on the season from the free throw line, 60%, averaging 12 points per game, 10 rebounds. The 10 rebounds tops in the conference. And Dixon goes 1 of 2. He's got 3 points. Lakers on top, 40-21. Just under 2.5 left in this first half. It's been a good one for the Lakers. Kinsey, high screen from Powell, spins, and then lays it off to Moses Williams, but a foul before that. And the shot, the basket by Williams won't count.
I think we've got a contact loose. Might be Kyle Kinsey coming over to get some little solution and put that back into your eye. I know that makes Mitch a little squeamish.
Yeah, I'm not good with the contacts. I tried contacts and it just didn't work for me. But I mean, look at it. Look how easy Kyle does that. Just no problem. He's not. I had to toss my head back, and
you get used to poking yourself in the eye after a while.
You know, or looking in the mirror trying to do it, and I can. Kyle is.
Man, I wear contacts. I'll tell you what. If one of those things comes loose, I'm in trouble. I mean, I'm Mr. Magoo without them. So I don't know.
But how adept are you putting him in and taking him out?
Oh, fine.
Easy.
But I mean, there's times where look, we've all. I think if you wear contacts, you know this. There are times where it can get stuck, or it's hard to put back in, or it doesn't feel right, especially if you hit a floor like that. Ideally, you don't. I mean, there's some optometrists out there cringing if they see that. But you know, I mean, it's pretty common, I guess. You know, a lot of guys are wearing contacts, but. It's,
well, Kyle is still trying to get it in, so he has come out. And Moses Williams at the free throw line, and the lefty misses on his first free throw attempt. Moses, of course, in the limited action on the season, now 1 of 4 from the stripe, so with 25%. And he's got another one and makes that one. So Moses has 3. And the Lakers lead by 20 again, 41-21. Benneman, Powell, Williams, McCray, and Tuxton on the floor. Air ball there on the 3 attempt from Lambert. And then tough sledding down low as Rudy Winters got fouled. And that'll be the second on Moses Williams.
Third,
is that right? Well, so now some size issues for Clayton State. And right now Moses Williams will stay in with the 3 fouls. And missing on his attempt there was Winters.
Remember, he drew that technical.
Oh, that's right. That's the third. Williams, the 71%er from the stripe, as Williams goes to the bench for Clayton State. And Kinsey back in, so they are really small now. With Powell, McCray, Kinsey, Benneman, and Tuxton.
I guess McCray would be your number 5. Maybe. See what they put in the low post.
Second free throw made, 41-22, Lakers on top. And then the give and go to Nate Powell. Corner from Tuxton was no good. He was inside the three-point line. And the ball's going to stay with the Lakers as it was out of bounds. Rudy Winters had it but was on the baseline.
Well, we talked about the defense being key for Columbus State. Hasn't really been there. Of course, the Lakers shot well.
And they fired in it. Stolen was short for Tuxton. And then blocked but also fouled was Darius Joel. Tuxton with his first. And to the line goes Darius Joel. 58% on the season from the line, averaging just over 10 points per game. Darius Joel in this first half has 7 points to lead the way for the Cougars. And he goes 2 for 2. Cuts the Lakers' lead to 17, 41-24. And we are approaching a buck and a half left in this first half. Nice spin by Kinsey and the roll.
Oh, boy.
Kyle's got 9. And the Lakers back up 19. Good defense here by Clayton State. Stolen by Tuxton. All alone for the layup. And the Lakers are now up 21. And Justin Tuxton has 5. 45-24. Clayton State is, we go under 1 minute remaining in this first half, and it's been a very good one for Clayton State. Columbus a minus 11 in the first halves of games. Clayton State a plus 68. And getting the roll there was Rudy Winters. But things have kind of played out the way you would expect. First halves for both these teams. Stopping and popping and hitting. Dantes Benneman. So Benneman's got 5. The Lakers up 21. It's 47-26. Timeout by Jimmy Link with 34.6 seconds left in this first half. Lakers ahead 47-26.
Well, the nice part is they are finishing strong with a very small lineup. You know, we were talking about the only issue really kind of happening right now is the foul trouble with, you know, maybe Owens sitting a little bit. And I mean, it's not like anybody's in major foul issues. I guess you could say Moses Williams with 3. We'll probably see a lot less of him. But look, Owens, Taylor, Williams, those are the 3 bigs right now, and they're all on the bench. And when you consider that this is a small lineup where maybe your biggest guys out there, well, definitely your biggest guys are both 6'3" and Kinsey and McCray, and they're still playing well. That's impressive.
So we'll see what kind of play Columbus State has to try and get them into the second half on a positive note. Darius Joel's got it up top. 3-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. Blocked on the 3 and fought for it. Columbus State comes away with it, but they can't retain it. And guys running right at us, and I was ready to bail on you, Bill. I'm just letting you know. I'm on my tippy toes right now under the table.
You were in the line of fire on that one.
Oh, my goodness. There were like 4 different guys running right in front of us. 9.2 seconds left here in this first half. And they're going to say 5 to shoot for Columbus State. Inbounding it in front of me, Jamal McKee gets it to Payne. He drives in the corner, 3. Vic Ellis is no good. And the rebound put up and good, and the foul. That's Jamal McKee. with 1.4 left.
It's tough.
So McKee is first basket. McKee on the season averaging barely 0.3 points per game. He only averages 6 minutes a game. Completes the three-point play. That'll up his scoring average. And last second shot by Tuxton, way off the mark from the backcourt, and that'll do it for the first half here at the Lock. And it's been all Clayton State. Your halftime score, the Lakers 47 and the Cougars of Columbus State 29. Bill and I back in just a few minutes. We'll return with the Ortho Atlanta halftime report after we take this break. All right, we're back with you here at the Lock. Halftime score, Clayton State leading Columbus State 47-29. Ortho Atlanta halftime report. And Bill, we look at a lot of balance from the Lakers. Kyle Kinsey with 9, Aubrey McCray, Carl Owens, 8 apiece. I mean, again, everybody has scored who has played except for Christoph Nairn. Lakers shot it 56%. 19 of 34 from the floor. Bill, it seems to me like this team just continues to get better with their shooting from the field.
That's why I gave him an A-. There's room for improvement, right? Got to give him something. I mean, it's been impressive, really, first half. There's not many places you could say, well, this could have gone better. I mean, the 56 essentially percent from the field. I guess you could say the one thing the Lakers didn't do well was shoot threes. They were only 4 of 11.
Right.
I mean, for them, that's off.
Still, that's almost 50%. I mean, no, it's 40%, and it's close.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's still good. It's still good, but I'm just saying for the Lakers, the way they've been shooting it lately from distance, the bench has had 19. They've had 16 points off of turnovers. I really think that's kind of the big story is the Columbus State turnover margin has been really hurting them. When you consider you tossed out, 13 turnovers a game is their average? They're at 12.
Yeah, they're at 12 already. They average 13. The Lakers, on the flip side, they turn it over 13 and a half times a game. They only had 6 in that first half, but we have seen halves where the Lakers have turned it over a little bit more than that. So they've taken good care of the basketball as well as shot it well. Distributed scoring, and look, they have just played a very good first half, and that's what you want to see, especially when you're on your home court.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those games where we're just seeing the Lakers play well. They played well with a small lineup. They played well with some guys in a little bit of foul trouble, nothing too major. I mean, Moses Williams has those 3 personal fouls. Other than that, I mean, they've gone small. It's worked for them. And at one point I felt like maybe the rebounding had gone away when they went small, but there was maybe a 2-minute stretch where that was the case. And other than that, look, it's all been positive. I mean, really, they have played just superb basketball, and I'm sure we're going to see more of Carl Owens and, more of Jalen Taylor out there in the second half, and those guys can get going even more because they've been on the bench with 2 fouls apiece. It's scary what the Lakers could do.
All right, well, we'll keep it right here as both teams get finished with their halftime warm-ups, get ready for the second half. Again, the Lakers led by as many as 23. Their largest lead. Columbus State never led in this game. Game was tied for just over a minute, so it's been all Clayton State in this one since they scored the first basket of the game. They have not looked back, 47-29 in favor of the Lakers as they are looking to improve to 11-5 on the season and go 9-3 in the Peach Belt. Now, again, no word from what's going on right now at Flagler. UNC Pembroke, who sits in front of the Lakers in the Peach Belt Conference standings. They're 10-2. The Lakers, as I said, are 8-3, but no score in as of yet from that game. So we'll keep you updated as well as we can on the UNC Pembroke and Flagler score, which is certainly of interest to the Lakers here. At any rate, we're ready to start the second half. Lakers have their starting unit out on the floor: McCray, Taylor, Owens, Powell, and Tuxen. Up top, that's Paulding with it. Hands to Winters. Now Jakari Payne, who only had 2 points in that first half, floats to the basket, but won't get it to drop. The follow, though, by Dixon is good. And that pair that you talk about combines for 30 points a game. They only had 5 in the first half between Dixon and Payne. Powell on the left wing, down low on the block to Taylor. The hook shot, no, but the follow and the putback is Jacarl Owens now with 10.
And so he's the first player into double figures.
Yep. Lakers ahead 49-31.
It's amazing to say the first player into double figures. You talked about how evenly it's been distributed.
And not one of the guys that you would expect, really, talking about Jacarl Owens. Good defense by the Lakers as the Cougars had to get it back out top. Here's Payne working. Now to Winters, 6 to shoot, and he makes it. So Rudy Winters ups his total to 9, cuts the Lakers' lead to 16. Minute and a half into the second half. Nate on the left wing. Tuxton, corner, 3. McCray, yes! Aubrey McCray, who had 8 in the first half, including 1 triple. And then swiped by McCray. Lakers with numbers, 3-on-1. And Taylor got fouled as he was going to the basket.
If Aubrey McCray gets going, watch it. I mean, really, it's almost not fair if he gets going.
Marcus Dixon picks up his second foul there on Jalen Taylor's shot attempt. So JT to the line. And comes up short on his first attempt. Taylor with 4 points in the first half. And Jalen also had 3 rebounds. He was 2 of 2 from the floor. So he made both his shots. But missing his first free throw attempt here. Taylor on the season, 68%, makes the second. So Taylor with 5. Lakers up 20, 53-33. 2 minutes into the second half. At the lock. Payne fake the 3. Down low on the block to Paulding, but it won't go. Rimmed out. Powell with it. Tuxton from downtown. Yes, sirroo! So all of a sudden, the Lakers opening up from outside. They got a pair of 3s in this second half, and they're now up 23, 56-33. This is Joel. Drives, now gets it back to Paulding. In the paint, defended by Owens. Shot was missed. The putback by Dixon was no good, but then he got fouled on the rebound.
That'll be Owens' third.
So Benjamin comes in now after this free throw attempt, and the Lakers will be going small again as Dixon makes the first. So Jacarl out, back to the bench. And in and out on the second for Dixon, so he's got 6. Lakers up 22. McCray again from three-point range, and again, he makes it. Oh, they worked that one out. They called that one and set it up to perfection. McCray with 14, he's nailed 3 triples. Lakers ahead by 25. Down low, and they're going to say a foul on Powell. And for Nate, that'll be his third.
I think that's the only issue really right now is the foul could become something.
They've got Nate with 2, so I'll hold off there. Ja'Cory Payne. Now Joel goes to work. On the miss, the rebound fought for out of bounds. It'll stay with the Cougars. And it gets a little crowded underneath there, and then a foul, a whistle, and that's going to go on Columbus State. So now Marcus Dixon saddled with 3 fouls. Powell Dixon with 6. His season high is 23 against North Georgia earlier this season. Tez, screen from Taylor, and the alley-oop was just a little bit out of JT's reach. Payne on the run, gives it off to Joel, who missed on the layup but was fouled. So Aubrey with the foul, his first personal. Aubrey McCray is 3 for 4 on his three-point attempts. And you're talking about a guy who came in who had hit 8 of his last 9 from downtown. So he missed one, and now he hasn't missed since. So the 2 free throws at the other end, good. Lakers lead down to 23. And the shot banked in by Nate Powell. Nate's got 7. Lakers back up by 25. Ja'Cory Payne with it. Pump faking and going to the basket, and missing on the layup attempt was Rudy Winters, but another whistle on the Lakers.
That's going to be on Taylor, and that'll be his third.
So the Lakers' big guys are in a bit of foul trouble right now. Difficulties for Jalen Taylor with his third. Timeout on the floor. 4 minutes, 13 seconds into this second half. Lakers, they're leading. They're blowing away Columbus State 61-36. Today's broadcast would not be possible without the generous support of Laker basketball broadcast partners Bojangles, Clayton County Television, Georgia's Own Credit Union, the Development Authority of Clayton County, and Ortho Atlanta.
Well, I would say it's going pretty well.
And there you go, expert analysis from one Bill Schindler, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, when it's 61-36, it's a good day for one team and it's a bad day for another. And unfortunately, we're on the good side right now.
Well, bad side of things, UNC Pembroke leading Flagler at the half, 51-40 down in Jacksonville. So if that holds, then UNC Pembroke will continue with the game and a half cushion for the top spot in the Peach Belt Conference over the Clayton State Lakers.
We'll get a look at the numbers here. I mean, 100% shooting. The only thing the Lakers have missed in the second half has been one free throw. Yeah, they're 5 of 5 from the field, 3 of 3 from the beyond the arc.
Can't complain about that.
60.5%, 23 of 38 for the day. On the flip side, 11 of 39, Columbus State 28.2%.
Rudy Winters makes the first. 71% foul shooter, averaging 13 points per game, has 10 and make it 11.
And Columbus State has gone over that average for the year, or for the game, I should say, 14 turnovers.
And then some full court pressure in the backcourt, and the Lakers throw it away, so.
8th turnover for them.
Yeah. So an opportunity for Columbus State to chip away a little bit more. They are down 23. Just 4+ minutes into the second half. Here's Payne trying to get it going, but he can't. It's rebound by McCray. And the Lakers with it. Tuxton bringing it up. Guarded closely there by Joel. Tez. Tuxton looking for Williams, who's got it. And had it poked out of his hands and taken away on a nice defensive play by Michael Graham. Sophomore from Stone Mountain. Payne pumps, gets it down low, and good by Michael Graham. So Graham's got 4, and the Lakers' lead has been cut to 19. 5 minutes into the second half. Benjamin. Got it back from Powell. Get it down low. Williams, his left-handed hook, no. And the Lakers, though, get it. 3 from Tuxton. Oh, nice rebound by Williams and a putback. Moses Williams. Seeing some nice things from a guy that we really haven't seen a lot of, and now he's getting some quality time.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to help him a lot. He's a guy who's got a lot of raw talent. He's young. He's really lean. I mean, he's 6'6", 180. So he needs to put on a little bit of muscle, especially if he's going to bang down low. But he's got the ability. He's got the natural frame for it. It just needs to fill out some.
Well, Tuxton picks up his second personal. And Kinsey comes in to replace Justin. 63-40, Clayton State on top of Columbus State. They have not trailed in this one. It's been all Lakers. Lambert on the dribble. Now to McKee. Gives it to Thomas for 3. Front iron, no good. Benham in the board. Gives to Williams, the foul line. Drives, puts it up, got blocked. And the rebound, though, Nate Powell. And he's going to back it out. Benham lets loose from downtown. In and out. Rebound to Columbus State. 3 ball from McKee. Rebound McCray. Kinsey brings it up. Flips it to Nate on the block. Gets into the paint, pump fake, and now a whistle, and they're going to call a foul on the Cougars. So they get Jamal McKee, number 2 on the junior from Greenville, Georgia. Lakers will throw in with 20 seconds on the shot clock to Powell in the paint. Pump fake up, no, but he'll go to the line as Nate couldn't get it to roll. He didn't have enough spin on it. Well, maybe it had a little bit of reverse spin.
Yeah, whatever it was, I don't know how that did go down, but I mean, Nate just has another solid game.
7 points for Nate Powell.
Yeah. 5 rebounds, 2 assists.
And in and out on the free throw. No turnovers for Nate Powell. Oh, check that. I'm looking at the wrong sheet.
Yeah, you're right.
No turnovers for Nate. Okay, I was looking at the wrong sheet, but nonetheless, he still has no turnovers. I'm not quite sure what exactly happened here with the ball going back over to Columbus State. Down 23 to the Lakers. Get it down low. Paulding almost threw it away. And actually Chris Horton was stepping on the sideline to try and save that pass, and he was out of bounds. So Paulding did throw it away, basically.
Phantom whistle. Did you hear the whistle?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They kept playing. I didn't pick it up, but.
So here come the Lakers, and then a block on Lambert as he fouls Benham coming up the left wing. So McCray will inbound. Fouls on Lambert is first. Screen for Kinsey. 3 from McCray. Nope. Oh, a tip back by Williams, and they're going to call the offensive foul over the top. So that's 4 now on Williams.
Yeah, I mean that's it's kind of a freshman foul.
Yep.
Just getting in there and draped himself over the back of a player. That'll get right in front of the official. Easy call. Got to play a little bit smarter than that, especially when you got 3.
So JaCarl Owens back in now. He's got 3. Down low on the baseline, and it was Paulding who puts it in, now with 4 points. Full court pressure from the Cougars. They try and get back in this one. Benham to Powell. That was a tight space. It got picked off. Here come the Cougars the other way. Lambert, left side. Paulding wanted the ball. He was open but didn't get it. Jalen Thomas has it. Crossover into the paint. Pass to Paulding on the baseline. He lost it. McCray with the steal. And the dribble. And the drive. And he got fouled. So Aubrey, who has hit 3 threes in this one. And McCray with a total of 14 points overall. Timeout on the floor. 8 minutes into the second half. Clayton State with a 21-point lead over Columbus State at 63-42 Lakers. Both teams break their huddles, back out on the floor. Lakers, Aubrey McCray will go to the free throw line. Again, Aubrey with 14 in this one, 4 of 8 from the floor, 3 of 5 from downtown, and a perfect 3 of 3 from the foul line. And McCray on the season, 82% tops on the Lakers.
I guess
Aubrey got the roll.
To build drama, can we say the Lakers' shooting percentage plummeting 40% since our last report? Down from 100% to 60?
Well, they're shooting 56% for the game.
It's amazing.
Which is insane. And McCray makes both, so now he's got 16. He had 8 in the first half. He's got 8 in the second. That earns him a rest. And for the Lakers, back in now is Justin Tuckson.
I'd have to go through the road schedule, but I can't remember anything this season at home like this.
And letting go with a 3 and making it is Vic Ellis, senior from Columbus. That's his first basket, first points. He's got 3. Lakers up 20, 65-45.
Just the second 3 of the game for Columbus State.
Tuxton from downtown. Nope. Nice rebound by Benjamin underneath. And no foul call, and away with it come the Cougars on the run. Another 3-ball right side is good, and that one by Chris Horton. So 2 guys who hardly played, Vic Ellis and Chris Horton, come in, and they immediately hit back-to-back triples. Lakers throw it away, the pressure getting to them. The layup is good by Jalen Thomas. And just like that, the Lakers lead, what was 25, has been cut to 15. Jimmy Lee calls a timeout with 11:03 left here in the ballgame.
Well, all of a sudden you got the fresh legs, and those are the guys who come off the bench. I mean, this is, you say, well, it's garbage time, whatever the terms that people like to use for a blowout. And, hey, the guys coming off the bench, they're the ones you fear because they're going to try to make a difference here. And so, 2 quick threes. As we were mentioning, they only had 1 3 in the entire game until you saw those back-to-back threes.
Well, Vic Ellis, who's averaging 2.5 points per game, and Chris Horton, who averages 1.5 points per game, they've come in and combined, they average 4 points per game combined, and in the span of 30 seconds, they hit 5 points combined.
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is a very well called timeout by Jimmy Link. Is before things get a little bit crazy, and look, it shows how good the Lakers have played when we're talking about things getting a little crazy when it's a 50-point lead.
Well, I mean, look how you have on the floor right now for Columbus State. You've got Jesse DeLoach, who averages 5.5 minutes a game. You've got John Lambert, 17 minutes per game. Jalen Thomas, 14 and a half. Chris Horton, 3 minutes per game. So their top guns aren't in there, but right now they've cut into this thing. Now the Lakers have to maintain, play smart basketball, take good shots. It's the closest that Columbus State has been in a while. 15 points down. 3 ball is good by Benjamin as the clock was winding down. Big bucket by Dantes now with 8 as that quells the uprising by the Cougars. Driving to the basket, but missing there on a nice attempt was Thomas. Lakers on the run. Powell misses on the dunk. The ball slipped out of his hand. And then a whistle. And we've got a warning on Robert Moore, or they tee him up?
I think they teed him up.
And they have teed up Robert Moore in his 8th season at Columbus State. 3 straight 20-win seasons for Moore, 3-time Peach Belt Conference Tournament Finals for him. Well, actually, they did not tee him up.
Yeah.
They gave him a warning.
I thought the way he came off the bench they had, but
No, it was a warning. Lakers ahead by 18. Driving to the basket's Lambert, gives it off for a 3 to Horton, and he hits another. A pair of threes for Chris Horton. He's got 6, and the Lakers are up by 15 again. Benjamin breaks the pressure, gets it to Owens, gets it down low to Powell, and he's fouled. I think the pass was actually intended for Justin Tuckson, and Nate Powell was able to corral it in the paint and got fouled.
there's a lot of Columbus State fans here.
Yeah, they're here. They're behind their bench, and they finally had something to cheer about, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, they've been quiet.
Made their presence known finally. Big foul shots here from Nate Powell, even though you're up by 15, and Nate hits the first. Nate, 3rd in the Peach Belt Conference coming into this game with 76 assists, also a 3rd in assists per game at 5.1. And Nate makes both. And the Lakers are up 70-53 as we go under 10 minutes left. And here's Lambert. Hands to Thomas. Stops, loses it. And then the ball is saved by Thomas and taken back by McCray. 2-on-1 for the Lakers. Tuxton to the basket, lays it up in the left hand, and it ever so slowly rolls in. So Justin Tuxton with 10. Lakers back up 19. And the fadeaway J there by Lambert is money. He's got 3. Timeout with 9:19 left here in the ball game. And the Lakers leading Columbus State 72-55. We'll be back in a minute. Both teams back out on the court here in the second half, halfway through, a little bit more than halfway through this second half. Lakers have led by as many as 25, and their lead is now 17. Was cut to 15. That's as close as Columbus State has gotten. Powell, Benjamin, Taylor, Tuxton, McCray. Your Lakers out on the floor right now. As the second stringers for Columbus State has kind of gotten them a little bit closer with the full court pressure, a lot of energy. And the Lakers break it and then lose it and then get it back. Tuxton to Taylor, and then he throws to Benjamin. The ball goes out of bounds, and it will go to Columbus State. So tough break there for Clayton State as they threw it away.
I must have hit. I mean, it looked like it got stripped out of Benneman's hands. That they'll say it. Goes to Columbus State.
Here's a three from Horton again. Oh, somebody's got to check him. Chris Horton, who came into this game 2 of 8 from downtown, has now hit 3 of 3. Oh, boy. And then a foul on Columbus State.
Just going to go on a limb. He's going to get a little bit more playing time next time the Cougars are playing.
Chris Horton, averaging 1.5 points per game, has got 9 in the span of about 2 minutes. Chris Horton, sophomore guard from Columbus, so keeping him in town. Didn't let him escape, and you can see why. Meantime, Justin Tuxton gets to the line and hits his first, now with 11. That foul was on Thomas, his third, and his second rolls out. So the Lakers up by 15, 73-58. I don't want to say it's nailed. Oh, to Horton again, and that was a heat check, and he hit the front iron. And then a foul in the backcourt on Jalen Thomas as he sent Dantes Benneman crashing to the floor. So that will be 4 on the sophomore from Columbus, Jalen Thomas. He's out. And in comes Rudy Winters, one of their starters. Winters has 11. Meanwhile, Benneman, Silk at the line, makes the first. Tez now with 9. (74-58) Clayton State. 8:38 left. And Benneman goes 1 for 2 on the line. So the Lakers just leaving that little bit of a crack of an opening, Bill. 16-point lead, but it was 25. And working it in the up and under. Beautiful basket by John Lambert, now with 5. And it's to 14, 74-60. And they continue with the pressure. Kinsey to Benneman, 2-on-1, stops and pops and makes. So that was a textbook break of the pressure there. Benneman with 11. And here's Lambert again. Just made that miraculous athletic basket. And the Lakers picked it off, and they call a foul. And is that on Taylor? That was a little bit of a cheapie. And we still haven't gotten an indication on who the foul is on.
It's on Kinsey.
It's on Kinsey, so that's his 4th. Is that right?
Correct.
No, they're saying the foul is on Nate Powell, and they got Nate with 2, so
Okay.
we'll take that.
Well, that's better, yeah, because it would have been the 4th on Kinsey. Well, I mean, look, it's got a jumbo jet time-wise at 7:47, but 16-point game. I mean, Columbus State, give them credit. They have gone to the bench, and the bench has at least given them some energy. But they have not really gotten to the point they need to put themselves competitively back in this game. Although, I mean, look, the time.
Well, they did make it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, we still have a lot of time to go, though. I mean, that's the thing, is this game has felt sort of out of reach for a while. Yeah,
well, it's kind of felt out of reach since maybe, the 10-minute mark of the first half.
Yeah, about there. But we still got I mean, really, it is. If you're a Lakers fan, you got to say, look, they're playing about as good as they can. But, you know, Columbus State just keeps hanging around there. They keep it from being a total blowout, from going over 20 points.
Well, it was there for a while.
Yeah.
And then again, some of the subs came in, the energy, the pressure, and hitting shots, hitting threes. That'll get you back in a hurry.
Yeah, well, now they've shot 52% in this second half, Columbus State.
And the Lakers still shooting the eyes out of the basket. 60% here in the second half, overall at 56%. At the line is Winters. He's a senior from Cartersville. Makes his first. Played both at Dalton State and Gordon State. And Rudy Winters has another one coming his way as he gets it back down to 14 points at 76-62. Nate Powell gets it to Benjamin as they'll break the pressure. Get it into the front court. Lakers call out a play. Free and Aubrey McCray loose. Now to Taylor, baseline, won't finish, but the follow's no good. And there's Kinsey who gets hacked at the foul line, so he'll stay right there. But again, a couple of close-in opportunities for the Lakers that they could not convert on.
Nice part is at least they were fighting for the rebounds, but you're right. I mean, that was point blank for Jalen Taylor, missing both.
So Vic Ellis with his first foul. And at the line is Kinsey. Kyle has 9 points, all came in the first half, now in double digits with 10. So you get him in double digits now. So you got Tuxton with 11, Benjamin with 11, Kinsey with 10, McCray with 16, and Owens with 10. So you couldn't draw it up any better for Jimmy Link as far as the dispersal of points. Kinsey with 11 now, driving to the basket and not able to make it was Joel. The putback no good by Graham, and the Lakers come away with it. And then Ja'Cory Payne back in the game guarding Kinsey. No foul call there. Nate Powell on the block, in the paint, looking for help. Got it to Taylor, who puts it up, got snuffed away, and then Powell reverse, can't finish. Opportunity fall by the wayside there for the Lakers. On the run, Payne, three ball, that guy Horton, no. Kinsey the rebound, and he's fouled. So Horton is finally cooled off, hit the 3 threes, had the heat check, missed, and then tried again and couldn't hit it again.
I think the toughest part of this game from here on out, Mitch, is who's the player of the game for the Lakers.
Well,
I mean,
I'm not ready to call that yet.
I mean, we'll get to that point, but you were talking about the point distribution.
Right.
I mean, it is it's one of those team efforts that, you know, you don't say, well, so-and-so really had this. I mean, they all have had good games. There hasn't been really one person to highlight, one person that stood out.
No, you're right. It is true.
Which is a high compliment. I mean, I mean that in a good way. That, you know, the coaching staff's got to be really happy with that when you've got a team that can go out like this as a team and play this well.
Kinsey makes both and gives the Lakers an 18-point lead. It was cut down to 14 from 25. Ja'Cory Payne, who's had a game he'd like to forget, and then an offensive foul is called on Columbus State with an illegal screen. And that's on Payne. And that's 2 on him. So as we said, Ja'Cory Payne, 9 against Flagler, his last game. A couple of games ago, he had only 3 against Young Harris. And Ja'Cory Payne here has 2. So he remains in a funk, even though he had 24 against Georgia College. Lakers lose the basketball there on a turnover, the whistle, and the foul is on Nate Powell, so that's 3 on him.
Yeah, they're wondering what he did. I didn't see exactly what it was. Thorough explanation of it, but I can't tell you. They explained it to Jimmy.
Oh, Payne traveled there, and they didn't call it as he slid with his pivot foot. Darius Joel, corner, Payne, 3, in and out. Rebound by Joel, and the putback is good. Joel in double figures with 10, and more pressure from Columbus State, but the Lakers break it with Kinsey. Benjamin down low to Taylor, pump fake and the layup. Jalen with 7, 3, in and out. And the rebound again, Clayton State. 82-64, Lakers, 5.5 left. And no problem taking your pretty time. Aubrey McCray gets into the paint, goes up, got the ball knocked out of his hands, and then they say it's Columbus State's basketball. Jimmy Link doesn't like it. Dantes Benjamin was pleading the Lakers' case.
Yeah, can't explain that one either.
So it goes back to the Cougars. Down by 18. We approach 5 minutes left in this one. Winters down low, spins, got blocked by Taylor.
That almost looked like a travel, didn't it?
I thought it was a good move. It was quick. And it was a nice defensive play by Jalen Taylor as he got a piece.
The Winter Olympics are coming up. We'll give him that was a
score.
It was a Salchow.
Here's Nate Powell working, go to the basket, driving, and his floater came up short. Nate got the rebound, but he traveled as he was on the floor and slid. So the call's not going the Lakers' way here in these last few minutes. And another wet spot on the court, so we got a couple of the youngins out on the floor. I know one of them is Jimmy Link's son.
He's even got the foot action down.
Yeah.
Jimmy coaching him up well, even with the towel duty.
He went back there to get one last spot. So good work there by the young Link. And it goes back to the Cougars. 4.5 remaining. Horton with it. He's hit 3 threes. Hit him 3 in a row and then missed 2. Horton throws in. This is Lambert working on Benjamin. Vic Ellis lets go. And he came up short on his 3 ball. Tez with it, right wing. And picked off. And how was that not a travel? All of a sudden I'm saying, what game are these guys watching exactly? And the reverse layup there by John Lambert is good. He's got 7. And it cuts the Lakers' lead back down to 16 as we go into 4 minutes. Tez caught in the corner but got it to Kinsey. And he's going to go to the basket, and the layup is good. 84-66 Clayton State. Ja'Cory Payne back out top. Horton 3. No. Got his own rebound, though. And then there's a 3 from Lambert. And it got the charity bounce. So John Lambert's got 9 in the second half, 10 overall, the sophomore guard from Atlanta. And the Lakers up by 15, 84-69 with 3.5 left. I mean, you got to feel like this game is secure, but...
you're right. We've been sitting here, and it's like, I think it's done, and then you say, oh, but hold on. And, I agree with you. Some of these calls, we don't want to harp on it, but if it was a close game, I think that would have been a story where you'd say, well, some of the calls are no calls, as they were. But, yeah, look, we are sitting at that point of the huge blowout or the 15 points where you do say with 3.5 minutes left, well, if they hit a 3 here or there, if they get a run going. The problem for Columbus State is they haven't done that. The turnovers have really hurt them. There was a quote we mentioned from their head coach, Robert Moore, before this game, and he said, quote, the last 2 games have shown us that when we show up defensively, we have a good basketball team. And they haven't really shown up defensively. Another interesting note, and I mean, this is something that has gone well past, it reinforces that defensive notion. The Cougars are undefeated when their opponents score fewer than 70 points. Well, the Lakers are at 84.
Yeah, and the Lakers average 79 per game. They give up 75. Columbus State averages 75, but they give up 79. Kinsey goes to the basket, and they're going to call a travel on him. So I don't think there's been one call that has gone Clayton State's way in the last 5 minutes. So the referees in some ways are helping Columbus State get back ever so slightly into this one. And now Brad Eggert, or check that, Joshua Nicely.
We're going to say nicely things. We'll say nicely. Right?
Yeah.
Is it nicely? Wasn't that one of the characters from Guys and Dolls?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, well.
You're going back now. Oh, Dixon missed on the layup. It was contested. Taylor comes away with the rebound. And he get it to Benjamin, and now Powell will bring it up as Payne comes at him.
That's what you get in a 15-point game for me.
Now under 3 minutes left. Powell goes to the rack, puts it up, and good! Tough hoop by Nate Powell. And now Nate in double figures. Three-pointer, no good there. Powell the rebound, and he's just saying, everybody get up. I'll bring it up. Just everybody get in the front court. It's my basketball. And Nate working on Horton. Going to the basket, puts it up, good, and they're going to say no on the floor with the foul. But Nate Powell, his eyeballs are lighting up right now at the sight of Chris Horton defending him.
Yeah, he'll take the young guy out there and say, all right.
All of a sudden, Nate Powell getting very aggressive in these latter moments of this ball game.
You know, we talk about him a lot, as we should. I mean, he's a very interesting player because it's just hard to, you know, we pigeonhole guys in some ways, say, well, this is what they do. They're three-point shooters. They're inside bangers, things like that. Mm-hmm. You can't do that with Nate Powell. I mean, are they warning Nate about his jersey being tucked in?
No.
All right, they are. Guys, it's a 15-point game. Anyway.
Are you serious?
Yeah, just.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. Anyway, Nate is one of those guys. He's just hard to pin down as what he does, and I mean that's kind of it's a great thing in a way because he does everything so well.
So Nate missed the first, made the second. And the Lakers back up 18.
Except keep his shirt tucked in.
Yeah, that's a problem. He's got to work on that. This is Vic Ellis. Now to Horton. John Lambert crossover, gets into the paint, puts it up. Can't get the roll. The putback is no good by Marcus Dixon, but a foul. And that's going to be on Taylor, number 4 on Jalen. But at this point, it's not that huge of a deal with 2:09 left and the Lakers up 18.
Can you think of a better home performance so far this year?
No. No, I have to go back and look, but off the top of my head, probably no.
I mean, I'm sure.
I mean, this thing was pretty much one-sided early in the first half.
We have probably come up with some scores that could be similar. We'll see how this finishes, but just total domination. And everybody, I mean, that it hasn't also been one player took over.
Yeah. No, you're right. Guys have been taking their turns, if you will. I mean, you know, again, Aubrey McCray, if you want to say at one point, he hit those threes. He's pining for one right now, and he lets loose. And just on cue, Aubrey McCray says, hey, give it to me. That's 4 triples for McCray, and the Lakers are back up 20. On the miss, the rebound of Powell. And he'll slow it down with a minute and a half remaining, and the Lakers up 90-70. So that worked out perfect, Bill.
Hey.
Nice setup.
You knew it was coming.
Yep. And here's Nate again. You could call a foul there, and you do. Nate kind of just brushed him aside. Get out of my way, youngin'. So Horton with his 4th foul. And Obi Udeza, the junior from Rosedale, New York, getting ready to report in, as does Moses Williams. Jalen Taylor out. Dantes Benjamin goes to the bench.
One of your guys from up there in the
Big Apple.
Empire State.
From Long Island. I'm a Brooklyn kid, or Brooklyn guy. Sometimes I lose track of where I am in my life. Nate, it's that one. It's both. It's 90-70.
But it's how you feel, Mitch. It's how you feel.
Oh, I feel wonderful. Horton. Oh, he banked in that three. Oh, man. Chris Horton bought himself a lot more playing time, I think. With 4 threes, and that one with a little bit of emphasis off of the plexiglass.
So are you an egg cream kind of guy?
Yes, very much so.
All right. Just checking.
I don't dip my pretzel, though.
Oh.
And what we have here, a whistle. And what's the call here from Brad Eggert? Still Lakers basketball. Now a discussion again with Mike Mead. Mike Mead's been very busy today at the scorer's table. He's got the game clock situation right now.
Well, Mike usually is wearing the he's usually got the book, right? They moved him over now to the scoreboard.
Yeah, he's got the clock.
So Mike's, he's in new territory. When we say he does it all, he really does.
And there's a foul as first time in a while in for, got to see who this is, didn't have him on my roster, Jordan Janeski, sophomore guard from Macon, Howard High School. 6'2". Free throw by Williams is no good. So if Moses is going to continue to get more playing time, he's going to have to work on that free throw. He makes the second. So Moses Williams with 6. I believe that's a career high for him.
Yeah, and it's good. He's gotten some playing time. He's looked good. And
the 3 missed the rebound. Here's Horton again and again. Oh, my goodness. Chris Horton lighting it up with 5 threes. 93-76 Lakers. Udeza pulls it back. And they got Obi with the basketball. They want to try and get him his first. Obi has not scored this year. I do not believe he has scored. Nothing. One-on-one, goes to the basket, and there it is!
There you go.
Obi Udeza gets in the score sheet for the season with his first bucket.
Some Long Island love.
The ISO Obi, Horton again, but he came up short, and that will do it as Udeza can dribble it out for the Lakers, who will win this one 95-76 and improve to 11-5 on the season, 9-3 in the PBC, 5-2 at home. So a very good one for Clayton State. They've won 2 games in a row, and the Lakers, again, keeping pace with you, if you will, with UNC Pembroke in the battle for first place in the Peach Belt Conference, as we anticipate that UNC Pembroke did win at Flagler, and we'll check for you while we're at it and see if we can get an updated score there from the Jacksonville area, St. Augustine, of course. But this was as good as it gets if you want to talk about this performance by the Lakers. And let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's a final 92-65. UNC Pembroke blows away Flagler. So the Lakers remain a game and a half back. And we'll wait for Jimmy Link. Tell you what, stay tuned with the Development Authority of Clayton County postgame report. It'll come up next when Jimmy Link joins us next.